reviews, discussions, and theories about films in horror, sci-fi, and genre. This is the Horror Deconstruction. Like, share, and subscribe to hear more.
What's up, everybody? It's the Horror Deconstruction. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, most likely on YouTube. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Hit that thumbs up. Let people know you listen to the show with your host, Komp and... as well as... Today's film is...
Halloween Ends 2022.
Halloween Ends 2022. I'm saying that slowly because the page is loading up. The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode comes to a spine-chilling climax, I was going to say complex, in this final installment of this trilogy. Directed by David Gordon Green, written by John Carpenter, which is based on his characters, Deborah Hill, and Paul Brad Logan, which is like three names for any internet YouTube star. Starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Matichak, James Jude Courtney, as well as Rohan Campbell, Will Patton, and a whole bunch of other people. So
you're really nailing these names.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, Danny, why did we pick Halloween Ends?
Because apparently it's the last Halloween, although I doubt it. But
time will tell.
Yes, so this is the long-awaited sequel in the newest trilogy, brought to you by Blumhouse, that in its second week had an 80% drop-off of people watching it. And it might be the new Halloween 3 of the Halloween franchise. I love the original. Is there
going to be a new one?
No, of course.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Never mind, I'm stupid.
But I like the original Halloween 3, and this might be even more divisive than the other Halloween 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that this director is going to be remaking The Exorcist?
I heard in that Exorcist that he's going to do like a trilogy of a new Exorcist film, but in the third Exorcist movie, it's going to be about a neighbor in another house doing something else, completely eating lunch, and that's the movie. But in
and his sandwich
this
is
film,
possessed.
So Halloween 3, Halloween Ends. I won't besmirch Halloween 3 anymore by calling it Halloween 3. Halloween Ends. It's getting a little controversial element to it because the directors went a completely different way. So you're going to expect.
I feel like Season of the Witch was a cool movie, though.
I love that movie. That was great. It was like very John Carpenter-esque movie, but a lot of people hate that film. So
they hated it because they wanted to see
more Michael Myers. Yeah. They wanted that. That was the most important element, is the guy with a mask. They got like 7 or 8 more of those films, so I don't understand, why they hate for part 3. But anyway, because Michael's such a compelling character, pick up a knife, stab people. The first
movie he was.
And apparently people on the internet hate Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. I didn't watch any of them. I think I saw like the first half of the first one.
I never saw the second one. The first one was okay.
I think what the problem was that they explained Michael Myers being nutty. Like, they showed him as a child growing up and growing into adulthood. And so, whatever. Who gives a rat's ass? It had Malcolm McDowell as
You've seen it, right, Thea?
Yeah. I saw the Rob
Zombie
Zombie one in theaters when it came out. And I remember...
The second one?
I didn't see the second one.
Okay.
Probably... I didn't really like the first one. I don't remember why, because I've only watched it that one time.
But it has Rob Zombie's wife in it. That means it's got to be great.
Yeah.
That was the most Hollywood-esque answer to any fucking...
Yeah.
It's great, yeah! Anyway.
Yeah.
So this one is very controversial because why, Thea? Why is this one the most controversial of the newest Halloween films?
I mean, is it any more controversial than the last one?
People like the last one for some reason.
I guess because we don't see very much of Michael in this one. But then we didn't see very much of Laurie in the last one.
You never see a lot of Michael, though. He's only in it for like 10 minutes each movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, his presence is there in the other movies in a way that it is not here, really.
Well, he kind of like possesses this little guy in this movie.
Is it a possession? I have no idea. I don't know.
It's sort of a possession. I mean, there's like a whole like head grab thing and all that.
Michael Myers works, I guess, for the fact that you have to pepper him in like the reason why people think so much about Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, like, oh, it's Hannibal Lecter. He's in the movie for like 10 minutes. But they string him along in the movie enough that you feel his presence throughout the film. And in this one, he is peppered along, but he's more like peppered with everything bagel, where there's more just stuff patched into.
I like
the
how
pepper.
he lives like some sort of animal in a like little hairy cave.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of Do you guys ever play Pikmin, the video game?
I know of the game. It's where you it's virtually controlling a bunch of little space animals, right?
Well, there's these little grubworm things that grab things and drag them back into a pit, and that's what this reminded me of.
So this movie, okay, so first of all, I didn't like Halloween 2018. You liked it, right, Danny?
But the first one?
Of this trilogy. 2018, yes, the one from 1978, 2018.
I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it.
What'd you think of the first one, Thea? Of this
trilogy?
I
actually didn't mind the first one, but I thought the first one could have been the movie.
I just right. I don't know what it was about that first one. I just did not like it. And Halloween Kills, I don't know if the three of us agree that I thought that was one of the worst.
Halloween
Kills
was
terrible.
A wreck.
That was the one in the hospital.
That was
I thought that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. There's always something
did we talk about that together?
We did, yeah.
No,
we talked about that.
Yeah.
I know the first movie, for me, there's always one scene out of all three of these films that really stick out. The first one for me is the two police officers talking about lunch, and I was like, what the fuck, what movie am I watching? And the second one, it was Anthony Michael Hall, an actor that I liked from Weird Science, one of the greatest movies of all time. You got to watch that movie. Science. Women hate that movie nowadays because of the story.
Yeah, it's not great.
I disagree, but it's a movie. The guy who wrote The Breakfast Club, he made a movie about these two geeks that basically create.
Wait, you've never seen Weird Science, Thea?
No, she hates it. She said, right?
I haven't seen it.
You got to see
the concept, and it's not great taste.
I know, but the whole
but I understand it.
Yeah, it's the whole point of it. The guys are humbled, and it's not it doesn't go where you think it goes. But it's funny. But yeah, so anyway, Weird Science is that type of movie. But Anthony Michael Hall has this speech where it seems like it's supposedly made up as it went, the scene was just created as it went, where he's telling a ghost story about Laurie Strode's life, and it's some of the worst writing and acting I've ever seen. And of course, The Evil Dies Tonight, where evil doesn't die tonight, and they don't fucking explain why Michael Myers is looking out the window and stuff like that. They don't explain it in this one. The whole point of that film was
explain a lot of things.
Well, I get it, but you gotta, you're making this movie to explain. The second movie is I don't know.
In the sequels, he's supernatural at one point, right?
I know, but in this trilogy, they made a big fucking deal about him going into that house and looking out the window. There was something important which they never bring up in this film, which is the ending of it, And I did a meme where I
when he gets out of the gears of that machine, he'll explain.
Yeah. I photoshopped an image of him looking out the window, and it was to a billboard of Megan Thee Stallion, doing twerking, and these people were you could tell these people the joke is him looking at a naked woman, right? And then this guy's why you gotta pick her, huh? Why her? And it's what? It's because the joke is that Michael, forget it. That's just, racist shit. But anyway, so this one is supposed to be the big final finale of this trilogy where Jamie Lee Curtis, who I have issues with as a person. I don't hate her, but I think some of her explanations for this film is so over the fucking top.
I think, how much money were they paying her to promote this movie?
Enough. I assume they gave her a lot of money for this. What is it? Blumhouse movies are usually $30 million, and I'm sure this is cheap. That's usually what they get out, and then they make a lot more money from it. But Jamie Lee Curtis, I like her as an actor. I think she's fucking great. She was great in that movie she did with Schwarzenegger, True Lies. She's obviously great in the movie which she did with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, Trading Places. She's great. She's just a great actor, and she's great even in all the shitty Halloween movies that she's been in. She's good in them, But when they interview her, because she's very serious and all the time, and then I was listening to her being interviewed, and I can't speak for somebody else's experience. You know what I mean? If they really believe this, then fine.
Well, you told me this about how
this one. No, this is the new one. This is not the one where she was saying Halloween Kills was equal to the January 6th riots. This one,
oh my God,
which I thought was the funniest thing. But
no, you told me that she was crying.
Oh, she was, and this might be true because. These movies supposedly, at least the first one was supposed to be about trauma, dealing with,
but this is the thing. I don't think this movie was nearly as bad as you led me
to. No, I don't think it's that this is going to be controversial opinion, I'm sure, from all three of us with this film. But she was on the Postmortem podcast with Mick Garrison. She was talking about how important Laurie Strode's character is. and she starts like crying throughout the interview about how important it is for people to see this character. And I was like, are you serious? Like, is this really like? There's like Michael Myers wasn't like married to her and beating her. He was just like a psychopath. But I'm sure a lot of women deal with that. A lot of men and women deal with that. But it was just that I don't think people sit and watch Halloween movies and go, "Oh my God, my life's changed. I'll leave my abusive partner because of this movie." It's just a bizarre thing that I thought was so strange and so over the top. But
imagine Michael Myers, the actor's wife, leaves him because of this movie.
But the thing is that he's at home with the actual suit and the mask and everything when he sits down to eat lunch and shit.
Do you think that he does that like every Halloween? What do you think?
He dresses up as Jason for every Halloween.
Just to switch it up.
Yeah, just to switch it up, and his wife's like, "Wow, you're sexy today."
He's contrarian.
Sometimes it'll be the new Pinhead instead. But yeah, so this was supposed to be Michael versus Laurie Strode. The bookends of this film, I think, are great. But it is focusing on a new character. Who is this new character, Thea?
Corey Cunningham.
Corey is very cunning, and maybe we see him eat ham in the movie. I'm not sure, but who is Corey Cunningham, Thea?
Well, when we first see him, he's a 21-year-old who's babysitting a little boy.
A 30-year-old, 20-year-old.
Uh-huh. And later I guess we're supposed to believe he's 23 or 4 or something like that. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Corey accidentally kills a kid on Halloween.
That was a pretty
opening.
And it was a great graphic when the kid hits the floor and his body like slumps crazily.
I mean, that kid was a little shit.
Oh,
he was. He did not need to die. Maybe I should have explained that Corey was afraid of being locked in rooms or something. Because boy, was that an over-exaggeration.
He really overreacts.
Kicking.
Well, he thought Michael Myers was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, well, this is the thing I don't understand, and I asked this throughout the whole movie.
Uh-huh.
Why would anybody continue to live in this town?
Literally that.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Just leave.
Yeah.
Leave.
People were so afraid of Michael Myers that he might drag him back into the town.
Everybody's like, there's a curse in this town.
And everybody's like committing crimes and murdering
there.
each other. And I was just like, okay, so we're led to believe that everybody's just killing each other because Michael Myers is out there somewhere.
Supposedly,
there's like a million fucking small little towns like this all over America. Go live in a different one.
Literally.
Supposedly, they were trying to explain that the whole trilogy was about the first one being Laurie Strode's trauma. The second one is the town's trauma. And then the third one, everyone getting over this trauma. Supposedly that's what it's about. The weird thing about this film is that somebody had brought this up, and I don't know where they brought this up, but it was pretty astute observation, that Laurie, in the first movie, because people are so frightened of Michael Myers, he killed, 3 or 4 people in the first movie? Meanwhile, we have, like, school shootings every 5 seconds, so people just do it, like, regularly. And the whole town was afraid of this one guy who killed 4 people. Right? For 40 years, fucking Laurie Strode was scared. She was all screwed. She even fixed up her house so it would be like Michael Myers proof, right? In the second movie, she's still freaking out. It takes place basically the same night, right, or something like that, or the day after.
Freaking out, man, freaking out.
And her fucking daughter, who's actually a great actor, Judy Greer, who's like really good actor, wasted her character. They kill her at the end. Yeah. And in this one, 4 years later, I
can't not associate her with Kitty and Arrested Development.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And in this one, it's 4 years later after her daughter died, and she's like skipping, seeing her neighbors all happy. 40 years this guy tried to kill her, right? And she was freaking out. About something that happened 40 years ago. 4 years later, her daughter is fucking murdered and she's normal. I'm going to write a book. Okay,
but Alex,
what?
Now she's something to live for because she has to take care of her daughter's daughter, but also she doesn't because she's an adult. So I don't understand.
What I always ask in these movies also, besides why don't you fucking move, is, okay, like we can see that he can be stopped by physical force, right, at the end. So why just shoot him in the fucking head, and then when he's down on the ground, shoot him like 80 times. Unload the whole thing.
Cut his feet off.
His hands and feet.
Cut his feet off, right? Cut his feet off.
Cut his feet off. Remove his head. I mean, there's been a million opportunities in these movies to do so.
Because this guy literally, at the end of Halloween Kills, he literally killed like 30 people at one time, and then he goes into a room and they still didn't catch him. I'm like, this has got to be some fucking nutty shit going on. And then the people in the town, like, Laurie Strode is like, did they explain did her husband die or something like that? The father of the children, I assume he's probably dead, right? They didn't.
I don't remember what their explanation was. My guess is that it was like a one-off kind of.
Okay. I feel like I buried the trauma of those movies.
But yeah, so she's trying to get, there's like a little cute flirtation with her and the cop from the second movie, the guy who got fucked up, Michael Myers too. And then as soon as she gets out, people give her shit for teasing Michael Myers, like something she has no control of. It's called bad writing. That's what it is, because it's like
bad writing.
You don't have to make Michael Myers mad. You don't have to tease him. It's like, what? I would say, like, shut the fuck up before I finish you dumb. That pissed me off. All these people giving this woman shit who was attacked. It's like basically saying, like, if a guy who assaulted his wife.
I guess it's realistic though, because people are overall the worst.
It's true, but it just doesn't not make sense, because lots of people were killed by Michael Myers in these movies, and nobody gives a shit. But her, they have to get mad at her because she survived a guy trying to kill her in the first movie.
Well, she is the main reason that he keeps coming, though.
So let's get into Corey. Corey Cunningham is this guy, obviously, like Thea said in the beginning, accidentally. Well, he kicked open a door and the kid fell over a railing and traumatized his parents, saw him die. So and people have a problem with holding knives.
But now you know, if you ever get a big house like that, put a trampoline on the bottom.
People have problems holding knives in this town. So Thea, why don't we explain what Corey's general trajectory in the story is?
Danny.
Oh, you want me to? Okay. He is being bullied. Because he murdered the boy and everybody thinks he did it on purpose, but then I guess he gets like possessed, maybe, and Michael Myers spares him because he can see evil in him or something, and then he starts bringing people to Michael Myers, and then he tries to become Michael Myers, and then he dies.
Yeah, basically. Well, that first homeless man who thinks he is Michael Myers, right? Because he wants that mask. Maybe he thought he treated it like the Halloween buckets from McDonald's. Like he thought maybe the mask would be worth something. Michael Myers is, at least it's realistic about how the trauma Michael's body took from the second film.
Yeah.
But I thought it was I don't know, like.
So do these movies just cancel out all the other movies?
Yeah, they just follow the first film. They don't even go from the second movie. Okay. I didn't. Here's the thing with this weird movie is, I don't like it, but it's not as awful as the other two movies. At least
it's way better than the second one.
It's certainly better than the second one.
My thing is with this, at least it tried something different. But then there's a knee-jerk reaction that it did something different, because the whole premise, if this was the second film, that would make sense. Do you know what I mean? How would you have ended this series, Danny?
Oh, that second film was so bad. How would I have ended it?
Yeah.
In 1979, after the first movie was made, or whenever it was made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They should have been the third movie. Is like if Laurie Strode had killed him in the first movie, and the second and third movie are just Laurie Strode going, "Man, remember what happened?" And they just replay the first movie. And then it'll cut. It's like bookended with her.
But every once in a while, it cuts back, and she'll be telling the story on a bench to someone or something.
She has a box of chocolates, so you see like a feather. Instead of a feather, you see a knife floating in the air. I think, honestly, what they should have done. This is my bizarro idea, because in Halloween, the best part of Halloween Kills was the flashback to the 70s. You know, with the fake Donald Pleasance. Which was, I couldn't fucking believe that was an actual actor. I thought it was CGI or something, or they digitally created a new Donald Pleasance. It was actually an actor using like prosthetics. This film, prosthetics. I'm telling you, now you can tell me if this idea is shitty. This movie should have been two films where it was like split narrative, where Laura and Michael were locked in a house, and then it would cut back with the new Loomis, trying to find Michael, and it would sort of like merge together into a final movie. Because that's what people expected, at least with this trilogy. You want to see Michael versus Laurie, so that would have made sense. This one completely moving the narrative to Corey Cunningham, which I don't think is awful. But it certainly shouldn't have been the way to end a movie franchise, because if Corey Cunningham is going to die, or at least if he takes up the moniker of a new Michael Myers, you have him survive, so then you can make 100 more fucking sequels with his character. But just to have him die because you want to have a shitty sort of... And I'm sure there's people who watch... Yeah,
it was kind of anticlimactic for sure.
I'm pretty sure there's people watching this movie where... Because he doesn't even fight Laurie. She just blasts him and he's dead. He stabs himself in the throat.
Literally.
But I'm sure there's people, really fucked up people who watch this and they find some deeper meaning with Corey and his girlfriend being rebels. Like the Joker and the Harley Quinn. They love that sort of weird and I'm not talking about the cool, good Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm talking about like the Suicide Squad Joker and Harley Quinn, where they take whatever they grasp out of a bad movie and think it's incredible. That's the whole point of this film. It's supposed to be a love story between Corey and Laurie's stupid granddaughter. And Laurie's the one who introduced him to her.
Do you think Alex liked this movie?
No, I know everything I'm going to say sounds like I hate this movie, and I hate it to a degree, but I don't think it's like the worst of the trilogy. That's the thing. It's like
what do you guys think of Michael Myers' little hidey hole?
It's fine. what am I supposed to
Thea really has nothing to tell you about in this movie.
I don't know. Did you like it? I liked it.
Fine. Yeah, I mean, it
was
made
fine.
sense
It was
like where he would hide for all that time, I guess.
He split rent with 4 turtles and a talking rat. But like,
that's true.
But with this, it's just like I just got thrown off of what I was gonna say about this stupid movie. Corey there's no purpose to it. It's not even gory, because the first movie, at least there was some sort of semblance to the first movie where it was like kind of artistically shot slasher.
The second
film.
one was just so bad.
The second
first
film,
and this one were okay.
The second film was an antithesis to the first Halloween movie even made, because it was just a straight up Jason Friday the 13th movie where he was graphic gore and everything, and that's not what the original Halloween movie was about, really. Not that I remember. Right. It wasn't like specifically, it was supposed to be mood and atmosphere. And in the second one was this, just like, oh shit, these people want to see just straight up gore, then let's give it to them, which is fine. But that's not, a Halloween movie like at least the original ones are. And John Carpenter running around saying, oh, these are great movies, because he does the soundtrack for the movie. So people don't fucking believe when you read that shit.
Did he do the soundtrack for this one?
Yeah, he makes money off of this. All he does is play video games. You know that, right? He just plays video games nowadays. Literally, that's all he does.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I wish
that's the dream.
That's the dream. That really is the dream.
If I could just play video games the whole day, I would.
It's the same with.
Good. It's great.
It's the same thing with James Cameron when Terminator Genesis came out, and he was like, yo, this is good. He's like, you're full of shit. Get the fuck out of here. And then he went to make Dark Fate, which actually wasn't that bad, but they fucked up with those first 10 minutes. So you can't believe in any of these people. The whole storyline with Corey is just, it seems like Thea is like really quiet because she really just did not like this movie. What are your feelings in this movie, Thea?
I mean, look, in concept, Michael Myers passing on sort of his legacy to somebody else is a cool idea. I don't know. Something about the trajectory just didn't feel correct to me, and
plot-wise,
I didn't need to see more of Michael necessarily, but it didn't feel. I don't know. It didn't feel authentic to me that he was like handing it off to somebody, or that it or even like magical. Like there was no. I was like, what am I supposed to be believing here? Like, what is happening?
And the big.
How long do you guys give it until they make a new sequel?
Oh, God.
About 10 years. This one did pretty bad, as in like making in the box office. Like it made a hit the first week, and then it dropped 80%, which is, I think usually it's 50 to 40% means a good drop, but 80% is like oof, like that's really bad. A funny thing is, like, Corey looked like, I was reading the tweets, he looks like Caleb Landry and Hugh Dancy smooshed together. If you know
I don't know who either of those people
Hugh
are.
Dancy was in the Hannibal show. He was the main guy, and then also Caleb Landry was the guy in the Cronenberg movie that we saw. But the guy,
he's Will, okay.
And Caleb Landry is the dude.
David what?
Caleb Landry is the weird son from Get Out. And the guy, the redhead guy who looks like a psychopath.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
So if you put those two together, they look looks like.
I could see that.
It looks like both those guys. It was just like bothering me watching the movie. Yeah, and I didn't buy Corey getting fucking bothered by 4 band kids. The worst acting, because I think David Gordon Green hires a lot of like non-actors, but these are supposedly actors, and these kids acting in the movie were like, "Hey man, you see this dude? He's crazy." It's like that kind of acting, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" It was really bad.
You should apply for the next movie.
I should. It'll make me the star. But I liked when they got killed. I felt a little bad for that girl with the stringy hair, because she was supposedly the nice one, but she was still, It's like one of those people hanging out with Nazis. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get rid of them too. Sorry, buddy. Don't facilitate these assholes, right? So that was fine. I felt bad for the old guy who was actually nice to Corey. His stepdad. Like he was the only guy that I liked in this movie, really, because he's like the only one.
Yeah.
Laurie Strode's granddaughter's a fucking idiot. Laurie Strode's an idiot.
How do they fall in love so fast? I don't know. It just seems
because Corey's a handsome guy and she's pretty. That's what happens in real life. You understand why people date assholes? That's exactly what happens. You know what I mean? I'm sure if
I feel like you're about to quote Jordan Peterson.
No, it was the other guy. Well, you see, women only want men that are quite handsome and financially ready. But anyway, so that's just how it is. It's a Hollywood movie. It's bullshit. And the thing is, what I don't get is Laurie Strode. Okay, so let's say this for 1 second. I don't want to drag this episode on than it should be, although it probably is. Laurie Strode is afraid of psychopaths, right? Right? For some fucking reason, she takes a warming to a guy who's known in town as a person who accidentally, or it's questionable whether he killed his kid on purpose.
I mean, it was an accident.
They don't know that. They weren't there. Laurie Strode is not a fucking psychic where she can know that.
Because she could tell that he wasn't a psychopath before.
Like, I'm telling you, he like possessed him or something, like magical.
Yeah, like he was different after.
So she introduced her daughter to Corey, right? And it's like, her granddaughter to Corey. And then the granddaughter was, I'm sorry, I don't remember the actress's name, but her mother was just killed 4 years earlier, right, by a psychopath. Wouldn't you not want to associate? But the thing is, it's completely realistic because a lot of people will date what's not good for them.
Yeah, but also all these people are like ostracized by their town.
Right. Yeah. So I guess maybe that explains it.
Why don't you leave the town?
Literally. Where the people know who you are, like just go away from that place.
Anywhere else.
If Corey hadn't moved out of fucking town, he wouldn't have this problem. He probably He probably would have.
This is not like it's not like you need a lot of money to get out of a town where like probably a studio costs like $100 or something. Come on, just go somewhere.
Yeah, I don't get it. And it sounds like I really hated this movie, and I don't want that.
Well, what was your favorite part? Tell me that. Both of you.
Oh, the DJ part when he smashes his face. Because I was like, throughout the whole movie, even though it's not supposed to be like, well, I guess it is whatever they fucking make it with these new movies. The second film was all like graphic gore, which is probably the best part of that shitty second movie. There wasn't that amount here. It wasn't graphic in here until the DJ part. Like, I was actually surprised because I was like, oh, this is lame. At least give us
DJ
gore.
Was an asshole.
No, that's fine. And he was a bizarre asshole. Because he didn't even see them on the roof of the building. He just saw them outside the building. And he was like, "I'll fuck you up." I was like, what? Are you that pissed off, dude? And when Michael Myers fucked him up and, like, smashed his face in this thing, and then he had his tongue come out and he cut his tongue, I was like, oh, boy, that was excessive. Like, what the fuck was that about? But it was Corey. I guess it was Corey that was doing it in the first place. So that part I liked. What about you, Thea?
What was your favorite part?
Probably the same.
Thea was so bored by this movie, just by this review alone. She's like, let's just get it over
fine.
with.
But, like, what is there to say that hasn't
you're right.
said?
You're
it's
right.
Just like, it was fine. It didn't feel like a Halloween movie to me necessarily.
Yeah, right.
And I keep going back to the idea of him living in this hole like the grubworm and Pikmin.
That is a fun idea. Like, there are fun ideas. There's a fun premise for this movie. I just didn't like how it was executed. It wasn't for me.
Here's the thing. Thea is like a grown-ass adult where she's like, okay, it was not for me. That's it. Me, I'm spending 20 minutes or 40 minutes talking about the minutia for a movie that I actually didn't hate. But the shit that bothered me will, like, lean me towards that side of just being a bad movie. It's a bad movie. Let's just give it a rating. I'll be 100 more hours talking about this shitty movie. Danny, what rating would you give Halloween Ends?
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Making a big public ceremony of putting a man into a grinding machine.
Okay,
and popping his bones.
I changed that was my favorite part. The DJ's the second part. My favorite part was that ending where we see them parade him, although it was horse shit, and the town getting closure for a guy that killed 4 people 40 years ago. And I guess it would be 25 people that he killed.
A lot in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. That I liked, and then you see him actually put in the grinder and they smash him up. That's my favorite part. Thea, what rating would you give Halloween Kills?
I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. Coming up with a new character in your legendary horror franchise and naming him something that rhymes with your primary character's name. Corey and Laurie.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Thea is smart. She thinks about this stuff. Now I don't feel like such a loser.
I didn't even catch that.
Now I don't feel so bad about what I said earlier with Thea not caring. So yeah, I also would give this movie. I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10.
God.
Because it's a bad movie, especially for what you're looking for and how it was sold. Because it feels like the producers just pulled the rug on its audience. I see these movies out of hate, these new ones. Because the first one I didn't like, and the second, at least I'm transparent about it. But I give it a 5.5 out of 10. Being a DJ, even with your own GTA 3 style billboard, and you can't survive this series. So with that, Thea, what's the final word?
Sharp.
Danny, what's the final word?
Perineum.